Hi everyone, today we're coloring out of the Spooktacular Halloween adult coloring book. I am using some of my new paints that I got. You will see most of these in Friday's supply haul. I think I already showed you guys the color shift paints, so hadn't had a chance to use these. I am trying hard to use things that I'm trying hard to use the things I actually buy, and I've been dying to do this picture for a couple years, and I wanted to do it in a different way. So we're going to use paint and marker and then like gel pens and stuff to jazz it up a bit. So I am doing the coloring scare tag, which was created, I believe, by Colorfully Optimistic and Emma Colors 2020. And I'm not tagging anybody because this has already made its rounds. There are a couple people I'd really love to see do it, but due to, I know some of them have health things going on, have life things going on, and I don't want to put any pressure on anybody. So if you haven't done this and you want to do this tag, please consider yourself tagged by me. If you want me to include it in the description, then just leave a comment and I will do so. I'll have some commentary about the pictures we go along. But for the most part, I'm going to try to stick to the tag questions. This was chopped up. This took overall 2 or 3 hours, and not including the dry time. And I wanted to show, all aspects of the picture while trying to keep this at half an hour. So we will see how this goes. Anyway, I am using the black shimmer paint here, the Delusions. It's a Ranger ink product, and I wasn't real impressed with the black shimmer paint, but it could be because these were just small candles. I do come in later and I don't show this. I put the Dragonfly glaze I got last month over it, and oh, it is gorgeous, y'all. Gorgeous over dark backgrounds. Highly recommend using Dragonfly glaze that way. I mean, it looks pretty no matter what, but it just absolutely is stunning when you put it over like a black paint or something. Anyway, I am actually, before I start the tag, so I'm doing the pastel Halloween tag on Halloween. That will actually come out on that day. On that one and on this one, I'm going to tell you guys, like, I'm going to try to have as many links to some of the stuff I talk about on here because I know some of you guys like spooky stuff. We just got done watching a 3-part film series on Netflix. It's the Fear Street series, which is basically like an adult R.L. Stine version of the books. And it's a bunch of teenagers like trying to get rid of a town curse, and it does involve adult situations, and it does involve blood and gore, so it's like a really adult version. But if you liked R.L. Stine as a kid and you are okay with that kind of stuff, I really recommend the movies. I thought they were pretty good. I'm not a horror movie connoisseur by any means. I'm not an expert, but we actually really enjoyed them. There weren't a lot of plot holes. It was pretty easy to follow. A little bit unnerving, but not super scary. But overall, it had a couple little twists, and it was pretty cool. So if you haven't seen those, again, they're called the Fear Street movies on Netflix. I will put a link to probably the first one in the description. Also, guys, you need to go watch the new Ghostbusters trailer. I was very dubious because I've been highly disappointed in any Ghostbuster remakes. We'll just say it like that, right? And I saw they were making another one. I'm like, ugh, this is going to be so stupid. Why can't we make original movies anymore? And then I watched the trailer last night. It's Ghostbusters Afterlife. And I have a little bit of optimism. Just a little bit. Like, it actually looks good. So if you haven't seen it, I'm going to put a link to the bottom. You guys go check it out. And yeah, we shall see how that one turns out. Like I said, it looks interesting. It's got I think the main character from Stranger Things is in it. So I can't think of his name offhand. But anyway, I'm going to share some spooky tidbits and suggestions and recommendations here and on Sunday. Be sure to check the description, as I will probably have a lot of linkage and a lot of info in there if you want more info on something. in anything I talk about today. All right, on to these questions because I'm on a time limit here. I got things to do today and I want to get this out at 4. So here, real quick, you can see I'm using that yellow lime green paint on the background. I figured out I really like if the paint can limit the number of backgrounds I have, or number of layers I have to put down, I love it. Like 1, 2 layers tops, I am thrilled. And I end up having to use 2 layers for the lime green. This shimmer paint I'm about to put down, I just used 1 layer with a little bit of touch up. This is just luscious. It is gorgeous. I did not like the color shift as much. I had to use multiple layers and it felt real thin compared to the shimmer paint from Ranger Ink. So just FYI on that. I still like the color shift, but if I don't want to have to deal with multiple thin layers of paint, then the shimmer paint, while it's more expensive and a smaller amount, I think it is going to go just as far and be a lot less headache for me. All right, questions. Question 1. What weapon would you choose if you were living in The Walking Dead? Bow and arrows. I am slow. Well, now I'm really slow. But like in high school when I was actually playing sports and stuff, I was one of those quick bursts of energy people. Like I'm quick and I'm fast in short bursts of energy, but if I've got some zombie tailing me for a long period of time, he's gonna catch me. I don't run. I can sprint to a safe location, but well, maybe not now, but I used to, and I would assume I'd be in a lot better shape as a running away from zombies. I'd get in shape real quick. Here I'm using the color shift paint, by the way, this purple. It's, like I said, you can see it in comparison to the shimmer paint, the difference in the thickness. And I'm not adding any water to this. So anyway, because of that, I need a weapon that I can shoot at a distance. Obviously, running out of bullets and making new bullets and maintenance on guns would be an issue. So I figure a bow and arrow requires some effort to learn, and you'd have to be, accurate, but I feel like I could be. And there's a lot of different ways you could probably make bows and arrows. It's a lot easier to either make the materials or get the materials to make them. Plus, you shoot at a distance. If I have enough arrows, I don't have to worry about pulling that back out. Like, I really thought this through, y'all. Like, a little spiked metal piece would be great, but, like, apparently it takes a lot of effort to really get through, like, skulls and stuff. And so I don't know if I'd have the arm strength to pull it back out. And if I had multiple on me, so that's why I'm saying bow and arrows would be my preference, because they're at a distance, and hopefully I would have enough arrows that I could just leave it for later rather than be stuck with just one weapon. 2. If you were paid to stay the night in a haunted house, how much would they have to give you? At least $500,000. No. Because, like, I sleep like crap. I need my own bed. This would be like if somebody wanted me to go camping right now, they'd have to pay me, because let's put the haunting part aside here. You're talking about a sleeping bag if you're going to actually sleep. And if I don't sleep, I'm going to be cranky, and there's no way I'm going to get comfortable in a sleeping bag or whatever. I'd probably be screaming at the ghosts to shut up. I would die because I would just get mad at them and just be like, can you shut up so I can get some sleep? Which, honestly, the cats make so much noise. I'm so used to it. I probably would just be like, oh, it's cats. It's fine. But no, just the idea of not being able to sleep in a normal bed. It's not like if somebody's asking me to, lay about in a hotel room. This is roughing it in a place littered with who knows what junk, I'm sure, and possibly tetanus everywhere for days. And yeah, no, they have to really dig out some money. Again, not necessarily for the haunted reasons, but just for sheer inconvenience in my life. I did want to note here for some of those pumpkins, I actually mixed the shimmer orange with, what did I mix it with? I think I mixed it with like an iridescent or something of my Artezas to kind of darken it a bit, so to give me a little bit of difference with the orange pumpkins. I do use a 3 marker blend on most of the marker area I'm filling in. Copics, Artezas, what have you. So if you guys are curious what I'm doing here. Oh, you can tell here where I put on that dragonfly glaze, and you can already tell it's shimmering a little. 3. What superstition urban legend do you believe? Oh goodness. This was interesting. So like, I don't know. I kind of looked this up because I wasn't really sure what qualifies as a superstition or urban legend. Like, Friday the 13th actually wind up being pretty good days for me. Maggie showed up on Friday the 13th. I've told that story all the time and I love it. They've always seemed to turn out pretty good for me. Black cats crossing my path. Hello. I do joke that with all the black cats crossing my path, the chaos that is my life is just payback. It just built all the bad luck built up over the years, and now I'm experiencing it all at once. I do joke about that, but I'm not, obviously serious. Now, when it comes to things like, okay, so the whole clown sightings thing that happened a couple years back, where that's like the urban legend part, where a bunch of people would like dress up as clowns and just stand in weird places and stuff like that, and you couldn't tell if they were just messing with you or if it was like really some kind of psycho. That was weird. If I saw that, I would be noping right out of that situation. Haunted dolls. If you ever heard the story of like Annabelle and stuff, no, absolutely not. No, no. I So the thing is, I don't know if I necessarily believe in some of this stuff, but it's one of those, you'll hear me say this time and time again. I don't like to tempt fate. So it's not like I'm going to sit here and say I believe in this stuff, but I'm also not going to be that person that's like, oh, this is bullshit, and be the first to die because I'm tormenting the potential haunted doll in this situation. Like, I'm just going to nope out of that. I'm going to be like, probably isn't the case, but why bother? Why? It's not going to affect my life in any way if I nope out of this situation. And if somebody wants to call me a coward, then so be it, because at least I'm alive, is the way I like to look at it. Why tempt fate? Why be obnoxious? So yeah, the idea of haunted dolls, like the Annabelle thing, creeps me right out. Anything involving like demon possession is really unnerving to me. I can't even hardly watch it. Like, that's the kind of stuff, and I've heard other people say this in their videos. It's that whole, the more you think about it, the more you potentially invite it into your home kind of thing. And I do kind of believe that, I guess. If I had to say I believed in something, it's that. Is if you put too much to something, you're probably kind of inviting it in, and I don't want that in my life. So that really unnerves me, and I can't hardly watch any of those types of movies. I like The Exorcist and stuff like that. Just nope. Haunted dolls, nope, right out of that. Poltergeist, yeah, no. Well, we'll get to movies in a minute. Black-eyed children unnerve me. Bell Witch I find interesting just because I'm from Tennessee. I suspect she wasn't really a witch. I don't believe in it necessarily, but I think the legend really interests me just because of location. Okay, we've moved on from the shelf to now I'm coloring the Snick, and then I will move on to her skin tone, and I make her a devil lady, and it just turns out so gorgeous. Yes, I'm using Copic markers on Amazon paper. At this point, it's fine. It's fine. I don't use them that often. They do great. I haven't had any. I've had these Copics for years, and I've had no issues with them yet. Even just using them on Amazon paper. I don't use them all the time. But if I really want a luxurious blending experience, I will use them. Or if I like the colors. So here I'm actually using a combo of the Copic and Artezas. The Artezas are getting used up and thrown in the trash. They are the old Everblend markers. They are drying up. I have had CaliArts I've had CaliArts now for 3.5 years that are still going strong, that haven't dried up, and the Everblends are just all going dry on me, and I'm just not buying any more markers from Arteza. Just my personal opinion on that. Anyway, to finish this question up, which is a long question, things involving hiking stories and people disappearing, not like recent events, but stairs to nowhere. Go look that up. Like people finding random stairs and staircases in the woods that aren't like attached to any house foundations or anything. Any Native American type legends like Wendigos or Skinwalkers. Wendigos are basically like a Native American, it's like a mythological creature, it's an evil spirit. And then Skinwalkers are basically like medicine men who basically have gone to the dark side. And they basically shapeshift into like animals and other people. And they're just, I'm going to have some links, and I'm going to link them again on Sunday, to some really cool YouTube places where they read like scary Reddit stories. And some of them are really good, involving like Wendigos and Skinwalkers and like the stairs to nowhere and stuff. I'll see if I can find specific ones. If you guys like to listen to that kind of stuff, sometimes I will listen to it while I'm taking a nap. I know that sounds like so counterproductive, but it's actually kind of cool. I don't know how to explain it. Anyway, long answer to that one, but that's okay. 4. Which horror movie did you never get over? Night of the Living Dead, the 1990 remake. I watched that when I was like 10 years old. My parents didn't make me watch it. I just chose to watch it. And to this day, zombies just unnerve me. Like, just a dark window that doesn't have a blind over it, like the idea of one of them just coming up to the window, like, no. And that one's weird too, because the guy like falls in a cemetery, the brother, and like hits his head on a tombstone and dies. And like, that secretly freaks me out, that I'm gonna trip and like bash my head open on a tombstone in a cemetery. To this day, that still wakes me out. But the idea of them being trapped in the basement, while they were, and basically just having, nope. That one messed me up. Poltergeist, particularly 2. The one with the preacher guy with the hat, like, and you read some of the stories about the set for that movie, like, nope. That movie wigged me out. That preacher guy, just, no. No ma'am. And there's a recent short that was made into a full-length movie. I have not seen the movie, but I'm going to post the short. It's called Lights Out. And that's a recent one. Let me tell you, I watch that and I enjoy it, but every time I watch it for 2 or 3 days, every time I go turn the lights out, I'm just, yeah. Anyway, I'll link it if you want to go watch it. But be prepared. It is very unnerving if you're scared of the dark. 5. What is your favorite scary and or Halloween coloring book? That would be the book I'm coloring in this video, the Spooktacular Halloween Adult Coloring Book. It's full of puns. It's full of cute pictures. They're all one-sided. I don't know. It was like one of the first Halloween books I got, and it's different. I love it. And so yeah. Scariest book you've ever read. Y'all are gonna laugh, and my husband's gonna laugh if he's hearing me talk. My husband loves the book House of Leaves by Mark Danielewski. Anyway, I do not recommend that book to anyone. I haven't finished that book, And it's not because it's too scary. It's because that book, I cannot read it. It is an experience, and I don't know how else to explain it. So now we're getting to, oh, by the way, we're getting to the extras portion of this page, and I actually kept most of this in because I think people really like to see what you do for details on a page. And right here I'm using a Jelly Roll black glaze gel pen, and I use that quite a bit, and you'll see that in a minute. Anyway, it is an experience. The book is not written like a typical book. There's footnotes you have to follow. Like, I almost needed a diagram to keep up with it. It was too much work for my brain to when I read. It's more of an escape, but how it was done was very unnerving. And I remember when I first started it, I was still living on my own, and yeah, it's something about it. It was also quite unnerving. So, I'm sure there's a scarier book I can think of, but for right now, that's the one that comes closest to hand. I didn't finish it because it was too much work, but it also, I don't know, I just really haven't had scary books per se, so that would be what I'd put there. If you could be a scary monster, which one would you be? Well, I don't know if a witch is considered scary, but like a scary monster, but I would totally be a witch. I mean, hello, cats as familiars, flying around, able to cast spells. The whole eating children part is a little, nah, that's not really a perk personally for me. So, or whatever they eat, that's not necessarily, that would be a con, but I do kind of feel like the pros would outweigh the cons on that one. And I joked last night, actually watching those Fear Street movies. There's one that's like 1666, and I was so like, man, it's a good thing I didn't live in that time period. I so would have been. They so would have called me a witch, and yeah, it would have not ended well for me. So yeah, definitely a witch. 8. Where is the scariest place you've ever been? So, not necessarily a particular place, but like anywhere outside at night. Woods, cornfields, open fields. I grew up in the country. Being surrounded by woods and darkness and like no houses and lights and people and just like a light breeze coming through, and then you hear sounds and you're like, is that the breeze? Is that something else? Is that an animal? Yeah, no, any sort of open country area like woods or fields or whatever. Also in the middle of a lake. I had thought in my infinite wisdom that I would get out and swim. And it was like this giant man-made lake at one of the state parks in Kentucky. And I got out there in my life jacket and got out in the water. I wigged the F out, y'all, because I just didn't realize how much not seeing the bottom and just having blackness below me would scare me. Not necessarily like sea monsters or anything, though. Why, a lake monster, I guess. Not necessarily that, just, I don't know, like a dead zombie hand reaching up and grabbing me. Not being able to see it, that was just like, no, no, no. I flipped out on that, y'all. It was bad. 9, are you scared of the dark? And if so, what scares you the most about the dark? I just talked about that. Very sneaky, unknown. You don't know what's coming up to you until it's right there. This counts even with deep, dark water. I guess in a therapist's sense, there's something about a lack of control with it, because you don't have control over the situation because you can't see what's around you. 10, do you go to the toilet with the lights on or off after a scary movie? Yeah, either one. It's fine. If you have a closet, would you need to have the door fully closed to sleep? Yes, unless I just take the closet doors off entirely. We actually need to redo our closets, so we don't have closet doors right now. I'm perfectly okay with that. But it couldn't be partially open. It's either open all the way or shut. Would you prefer to watch scary movies with others or alone? Others. 12, do you want to be a vampire, zombie, or werewolf? And why? Oh, that would totally be vampire. I'm not too squeamish around blood. I probably would become so used to blood and gore that it just wouldn't faze me. Again, you get to fly. What We Do in the Shadows, by the way, I love. Season three's out. We're working our way through it. And because of them, like, I totally want to be able to scream bat and just turn into a bat. Like, I think that's totally cool. Um, 13. Would you participate in a zombie run? Which is a city event as like a haunted fun run. Yes. Would you be a zombie or a runner? I would totally be a zombie. I told y'all I can't run for the life of me. I can't run except for short sprints, and I would probably die, but man, I could totally do a zombie shuffle, and I would love to be a zombie in a zombie run. Um, 14. Do you prefer gory, creepy, or cute and spooky? I would say creepy, cute. Creepy cute, spooky cute. I don't like gory. The beauty of horror books, I like seeing other people do them, but I personally don't like coloring in them. I don't necessarily like a lot of gore myself, but I do like the scary stuff a little bit, like in the Grimm's fairy tales and stuff. So I would say kind of a mix. Spooky cute, creepy cute. I also like really cute stuff for Halloween, so a mix. 15. What scares you the most about being home alone? Like I said, open windows. All the blinds have to be closed at night. If I'm at night, not during the day, I'm fine. The cats do like to go out on the porch and stuff, so sometimes we have like the window cracked open and stuff, and I always worry that some crazy fool around here. Of course, we don't live out in the full-on country, but we are pretty out in the country. And we're in a city. It's a town, but they call it a city. Anyway, it's rural enough. We've heard some screaming. I think I told y'all about that, where we had like these weird screaming, random screams that would come out from the woods in the middle of the night. Like one night, right after No Lie, we watched Predator, and it was really unnerving. But I think it was a possum, so hopefully that's all it was. But yeah, random screams outside at night if I was here by myself and all the windows were open and stuff. If it's just warm enough, like in the spring or the fall. Oh yeah, no, 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 not for me. 16. Would you rather walk through a cornfield or a forest in the dark? Forest in the dark. Because if something's chasing me in the forest, more than likely I can find a little nook, cranny, log to crawl into. I can throw some moss over me. Like, I'm squeamish, but I would totally abandon that if I felt like something was coming after me. I feel like I could calm myself enough that he couldn't hear me. Like, I feel like I could hide a lot better in a forest if something was pursuing me than in a cornfield. Cornfield, you got corn right there in your face, all around you as you're moving. It's shifting with you. You're making noise as you're shifting along. You can be quieter in the woods. Boy, you can tell I really thought about this one too. But it's kind of like just having a little, all you can see is just right there. And yeah, no, I don't know. I feel like I could see farther in a forest in the dark. So much rather walk in a forest. 17. If you could make a magic potion, what would it do and what ingredients would it take to make it? A restful sleep potion. I would, if I could get restful sleep every night, no matter how much I slept, that would be my superpower. That would be my magic potion. That would be, I feel like I could take on the world if I could just get some restful darn sleep. What would be in it? Oh, like cotton candy, golden Oreos, man. I would put, it would be full of all kinds of the junkiest junk food. Cereal, oh my gosh. So like, okay, golden Oreos, maybe some frosted flakes, some cotton candy in there, chocolate milk. Oh my gosh. This sound I feel like I'm building the redneck version of the like, the little KFC bowls where you can get like corn, mashed potatoes, and chicken. It's all like mixed together. That's like what I'm doing here. This is the diabetes bowl. That is what my potion would be right there. No eye of newt. No, there would be cat hair in it. That's what would make it magic, would be the cat hair. And because I have so much, man, I could bottle that. I would be a millionaire. So yeah, I that would be the magic potion, and not only would it help me, I could just live off that and be rich the rest of my life. So winner, winner, chicken dinner all around. What was your favorite Halloween costume of all time? I was thinking that when I was a kid, but I realized for a couple years I dressed up as an adult when I as an adult. No, I didn't dress up as an adult, but when I was an adult, and working in an office in Nashville. And my favorite costume I did was the Hamburglar. And I'm going to put a couple pictures in right here. Oh, to be in my 20s again. Anyway, I was pretty chonky. I figured the Hamburglar costume would be easy. So here I was. People really wanted me to go into a McDonald's or any other fast food restaurant that day. And I was tempted, but I did not. Totally unplanned. Some other guy dresses up as the burger. Some guy dresses up as the Burger King. And so, of course, we have a mock battle here, as you can see. So yeah, if I have a favorite Halloween costume, it was probably that one. It was a lot of fun, and I should have totally messed with some fast food workers. Well, not really. Those poor things just don't deserve that kind of aggravation. All right, what question are we on now? We are on 19. Who would you rather have as a friend? Michael Myers, Pennywise, Alien Predator, Freddy Krueger, and why? Um, well, this is a tough one. I kind of agree. If you haven't watched Danny Button's version of this, I kind of agree with her on the whole Freddy Krueger thing. Where, sleep is like one of my few areas of peace in my life, and so the idea of something invading my dreams sounds horrific. So I would have said Freddy Krueger, but then I got to kind of thinking about it, and I'm like, but I would kind of like to do the Predator thing too, because maybe he could teach you, like, set you up with some gear where you could turn invisible. I mean, how cool would that be, right? Like, I could go to the store and not have to talk to anybody because nobody could see me. They would see me picking up random things in the store, but they wouldn't actually see me, so they wouldn't know who's there. So I wouldn't have to go through awkward conversations in stores. I could be even more socially distant than I am now, and that sounds like a perk to me with the way things have went lately. Oh, that's terrible. All right, the last question was, who are three people you would like to participate in the tag? At this point, like I said, I just want to put out there anyone, because there are a couple people I had in mind, but due to life situations and stuff, I'm just worried they're not going to be able to get to it. You can do this. Look, I'm probably going to still color some Halloween stuff in November, so if you want to do it and it's past Halloween, I think you should go ahead and do it. Halloween's a blast. It's my favorite official coloring holiday and such to get involved with, so I feel like we can do this one anytime this year. So hey, I got done with the questions before the picture, before the video ran out. So let me go ahead and jump to the end. And here we are. I absolutely love how this picture turned out. I wish I had done a clip to show it, back and forth, but I think to show you the shimmer and stuff, but I'll do that on the completed pages, and I'll try to post it on Instagram. But it turned out super cool. I liked using all the paints. I actually ended up using them more after this picture. So hope you guys had a lot of fun with this. I had a lot of fun doing the tag. I kept it kind of within half an hour, so I think I did pretty good. Check back Friday for the supply and coloring book haul for October, and then Sunday I will be doing the pastel Halloween tag. I believe Tammy Colors 2 tagged me, so we will have another picture and some more scary goodies to share with y'all. Again, be sure to check in the description for some of the things that I mentioned, if you're kind of into, or if you're into that kind of stuff. Thanks, and bye for now.